Worst fan bases for TVs and movies. Okay, listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I did this for video game fan bases, and I thought that was gonna be a one-off one, and then so many of you came in being like, I was getting ready for that Marvel or Disney adult rant, and it never came. So, yo, tier list boy, can you please make that already? And I'm gonna be real with you, I'm surprised I didn't start with that, because the amount of debates that I've been in with the Dragon Ball fans that have actually made my head, like, erupt in like a volcano migraine out of nowhere, because I'll be enjoying myself watching, I don't even know, JJK, okay? And then a Dragon Ball fan will come in and say, hey, how does it feel that Goku solos your entire verse? Brother, I quite literally have never in my life ever thought that until you brought it up, and you think that's a gotcha. I'm sorry, bro, this is gonna be a very rant-heavy video. I'm feeling the toxicity bubble up. I don't know what it is about me, bro. Maybe it's like the devious drama side of me, where when I talk about like other people's drama and toxicity, it makes me want to join in, okay? Like a little gossipy fifth grader. I just gotta get in there, bro. I just gotta get in there like a little cave diver trying to get into, I don't even know, a little crevice in the rocks. Okay, I don't know where I'm going with that analogy. We're going to be going over TV shows and movies and going through fan bases, and I'm just going to rank them on how much I just dislike them. There's some that I think are good, and I'll preface that, and understand this. This is going to be very limited, only because I'm only going to talk about the ones that I, at one point or another, was a part of. So you get a little bit of insight to what I watched, and I'm going to be real here. It is everything from Rick and Morty, Hazbin Hotel, Star Wars, to Steven Universe. I don't know if I said Steven Universe twice. I don't know. I did a double take in there because Steven Universe bothers me for a reason that we'll cover. We'll get into in a second, okay? But if that sounds good to you, please consider a like, comment, and subscribe, okay? We're trying to get this to 250,000 subscribers before the end of the year. 500,000 subscribers before the release of GTA 6, and I'm actually on track for that as of right now, which is kind of insane. But if you want to join in on there, join the EthanOnEverything army. Just subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay notified. And we're trying to get this to 2,000 likes, maybe 3,000. Yeah, 3,000 likes. Okay. And one other thing before I get into this, because I just got to preface. If you are a part of these fan bases, no, it's not that I think you're toxic. I just think the fan base you're a part of is toxic. And I've been a part of all of these, okay? So I just gotta preface that. With all that out of the way, let's get into the video. Let's go. Friends. I'm gonna keep it real here, dog. Every single person that I've ever seen that is a fan of Friends over here, like, it's one of the greatest sitcoms ever created, and like it's superior to The Office. Brother, I'm sorry, man. Shut up. No. Friends is like the default background noise of any basic white girl's apartment. It just is. Bro, the amount of people that I see that enjoy Friends, no, it's not enjoy. The people that just like Friends are actually the people that watched it. The people that swear by Friends as it's one of the greatest things ever created. There's a little sunspot right there. That's kind of funny. Anyway, people that swear by it are like the people that don't really watch it. Or they're just like culty about it. And that's a different thing. No, I've watched Friends. I think it's mid. It ages. Oh, well, it's a timeless series. No, bro, it is it's one of the most timely series I've ever seen. You could not release Friends now. Do you know what's an act? Now we're going to get into it. Because, listen, we're already ranting. Let's get into it. Okay? Do you know what I actually think is a timeless series? The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is one of, I was going to say unironically, and the timestamp guy was going to get me, okay? No. I think the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is everything that Friends says it is, but just better. No, I understand Friends picked up a cult-like following, which is so funny that they get on, like, The Office for that same thing. I've watched both of them. The Office has made me laugh more than Friends has in one season than the entire run of Friends. Oh, wait, I haven't seen it all. When does it get good? Season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one? Well, you really gotta get to season 6. No. I'm sorry, bro. No, you just gotta really get in. That's another thing. I hate the fandoms of TV shows that have to be like, but you gotta get into it. Okay, like, I understand this, okay? I understand the first season of The Office is bad, which is why I just don't recommend people watch it, okay? Not, you really need to sit through it so you can enjoy it better. No, that is ass! Okay, I'm sorry. That was a bit mean. It's still bad, dude. It's just a bad fan base. Why? Because it's like, if I say it's anything other than peak, then it's a blasphemy. No, it's mid. Sometimes below mid. Yeah, bad, bro. Put it there. Game of Thrones. Oh, bro. Let me tell you what I'm feeling right now, bro. Somebody's gonna clip that out of nowhere. Ethan's tweaking, y'all. No. Let me tell you something. Okay? The Game of Thrones fan base is one of the most, like, I don't even know, bro. I don't even know what the word is, because I understand why they hate the ending, bro. And here's the thing, okay? My mom was so into this fan base, she actively will send pictures to me of the actor of Joffrey and say, genetics really caught up with him. Yeah, bro, I don't like Joffrey either, and he does look kind of rough, I'm gonna be real. I hope he made a shit ton of money, bro. I hope he made a ton of money. But this is where it gets to me. There's so many, like, at a point, the debate has to stop. Daenerys would have been a great queen. How? You know what, let's get into it. What experience do you think she has at actually being, like, a good leader? And, well, you think Jon Snow? No! Jon Snow would have made sense, I guess. And, like, kind of. Do I think he would have been, like, a good leader? He has more experience leading, like, people through there. You have Daenerys Targaryen. Brother, she had 3 fucking dragons. Okay? Like, I'm sorry, bro. There comes a point where, like, no, Daenerys Targaryen went crazy. The problem with Daenerys Targaryen turning as crazy as she did is how quick it was, bro. It was literally from here to here. And I'm gonna say this. Now we're just getting into all of the Game of Thrones debates. Yes, Game of Thrones was gonna have 3 more seasons, and they didn't want to do that because the showrunners of it were going to do Star Wars movies, and I think they're either still doing it, or it wasn't the sequel trilogy, it was the trilogy afterwards, like the new sequel trilogy. They were in talks to do that, and then they speed ran the Game of Thrones series, which is so fucked up that Star Wars inadvertently hurt the Game of Thrones universe, which is kind of crazy to think about, bro. Star Wars destroys everything. We'll get into Star Wars in a second, bro. However, okay, the Game of Thrones fan base, this is where I will stand with them. Well, Game of Thrones is kind of overrated. What seasons? I'm sorry, bro. Seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4 is some of the... Like, if you want me to show you peak television, bro, like, the actual maximum of how good a TV show could be, it would be seasons 1 through 4 of Game of Thrones. I do not think it gets better than that. And I didn't put Breaking Bad on here because I think Breaking Bad fans are actually pretty valid. They're pretty chill too, okay? But like, Breaking Bad is the most consistent series I've ever seen. If you do not like Breaking Bad after you've seen like 3 episodes, and I'll give 3 episodes of a series, okay? Then you probably aren't going to like it. If you watch 3 episodes of Game of Thrones, there will be something that you love. There's, Breaking Bad's the most consistent. There's only 1 bad episode in the entire series. I've said this multiple times, and I stand by it, bro. The Fly is not a good episode. It just isn't, okay? Game of Thrones has more bad episodes, but they have more 10 out of 10s than any series I've ever seen, bro. The first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones are so fucking good, and when we're looking at that fan base, the main problem that they run into is that they take that fact, and then they try to say, oh, well, you don't like Game of Thrones. Like, no, some people rightfully were turned off of Game of Thrones after a certain point. And that's how I look at Game of Thrones. As far as the fandom, bro, like, I don't know how you, like, I don't know how you go on. Like, I don't, there's so much lore in the Game of Thrones universe that when we're doing House of the Dragon, there's no way House of the Dragon can, like, really compare to original Game of Thrones. And I think that's where the fan base starts going all toxicity on everybody, because they are still living in the glory days when, in reality, it's better than the last season of Game of Thrones, and that's really all it needs to be, bro. Let it gain momentum first. I'm going to put the Game of Thrones fan base, honestly, in meh. Like, a lot of the toxicity of the Game of Thrones fan base is pointed at stuff that is, like, rightfully you can get mad at that. The ending is bad. Okay? It just is. Getting mad at the Game of Thrones ending, it'd be more toxic if you loved it. Honestly, bro. It's just bad. Meh. I'll put it in meh for a fandom. Hazbin Hotel. Brother, Here's the thing with Hazbin Hotel, Doug. Hazbin Hotel fans are they self-glaze that series so hard. And it's to a point where, like, I've seen it. And I think there's parts of it that are great. Like, number one, I think the music, I think the music is really good. I think the message is fun. I think it's fun. This is where Hazbin Hotel fans kind of lose me. And it's not all of them, it's the fanatic fans, okay? There just is a lot of them, because this is definitely a series that has a lot of Rule 34 art. It was practically built on that. It was built by a Rule 34 artist. An S rank gooner made this, okay? And you can tell, bro. It's mid. Like, it is. No. It's mid with lots of sprinkles. That's essentially how I would describe it, bro. It's mid that's dressed up to look like peak. And actually, no. It's mid dressed up to be like a 9 out of 10 when it's kind of just a set. What I mean by the storyline is fun, yeah, it's just basic. Oh, how about this? The Princess of Hell. So it's a princess story. Okay. And this is going to start a hotel to rehabilitate sinners. And guess what? You're not going to get this. The angels are the bad guys. Brother, I've seen fan fiction better written than that shit. What? I'm sorry. What are we talking about? What are we talking? It's just average, and that's what it's meant to be. Don't try to debate it with me like it's some shit that was written by I don't even know, bro. Like, what do you think it was? It's not peak. It's not peak, but you treat it as peak. No, it's mid with good. Oh, this is how I know. If you took all the music out of Hazbin Hotel, nobody would really care. Nobody would. You know how I know? All of the moments that get turned into, like, TikTok sorts are all of them are songs. All of them are songs. Or it's people trying to thirst trap Alistair. And there's so many thirst traps and it bothers me. Like, everybody's gooner coded, and that's the problem, bro, and it bothers my brain. It bothers my brain because those same gooners will tell you it's peak. No, it's mid with good songs. Awful. It's awful. It's not the top yet. Euphoria fans. Triple S rank gooners. Everybody's bad. I dislike everybody. Everybody's annoying in this series. There's not one likable character that I look at and I'm like, they're a pretty good person. This entire series was made for very, very confused, probably young women, or dudes that are dating a chick that's also confused and they're forced to watch it, and they get head while they watch it. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. That's the fan base. Or Facebook moms that see that their daughter is watching it and they watch it. Honestly, yeah, there's not even a crass out. I'm just stating facts here, bro. It's not that good. It's not. It's like, shut up. Okay. Like, if you want me to be mean, I'm sorry, bro. Aren't these like all? Everyone here is like 17. Like, or it's like, I don't. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at Euphoria. As I'm kind of like. And it's not even like, oh, well, you're stretching. The storyline is quite literally that. That is the storyline. It'd be different if it was like that, and like there was some themes that were like side plot. No, the entire plot is that. It's just a bunch of very, very shards. I'm trying to think of words to like circumvent keywords. Okay, very confused and shards high schoolers. Yeah, they're all high schoolers. I don't know, bro. Euphoria, it's bad. It's bad. And, like, Euphoria is peak. The peak in question. I'm good. They remind... Nah, that's bad. It's bad. You ain't watching this for the storyline, dog. We all know that. Little buddy. Anyways, get out of here. Rick and Morty fans. Stop! Oh my gosh, it's not that deep. It's not intellectual. It is just a nihilistic slop with edgy words. That is what it is. It's funny. I like it. It's entertaining. But I'm sorry. You have to have an IQ of 120. No, you don't. It's basic. Like, no. It's not like brain rot. It's not like fucking Teen Titans Go. And I'm sorry. I know that was made for children. I just needed a brain rot show to throw in there. It's not like... I'm naming brain rot shows that are... Okay, Family Guy is more subtle with storytelling than Rick and Morty is at times. And here's the problem. Family Guy doesn't try to be subtle, but they do it better than Rick and Morty does at times. And here's the problem. Rick and Morty fans are the ones that are like, the meaning behind the story was well put together with science fiction terms that work out well. Yes, this is totally not a softcore ripoff of Back to the Future. Now, I understand it's inspired, but like, that's how I feel, bro. I'm saying a Rick and Morty fan. Now, this is actually a great example, bro. Rick and Morty fans are the worst part about Rick and Morty. It's a good show. Even the later seasons, I give it like an 8 or a 7.5. And those are the ones that Rick and Morty fans think are like 5 out of 10. And I'm like, personally, do you know what I think it is? I think they rolled back some of the edginess in favor of an actual mainline story, which is like, of course they would do that. When like in the first couple seasons, everything's kind of a one-off. Everybody's kind of nihilist. Everyone's kind of edgy. And I smell the Axe body spray and the fedora tip. I'm just going to be real, bro. It's like, most of the fan base is so heavy Redditor coded that it bothers me. And it's like, no, it's not that deep. It's not. Bro, okay. We're going to talk about Marvel in a second, but do you know what? Let me say this. I've been cooking this for a second, bro. I'm sorry. Rick and Morty fans saying that how like deep and subtle the storytelling is and how like high IQ it is reminds me of the people that said Black Panther is the single greatest film to ever be constructed as a superhero film and will live down as one of the greatest cinematic masterpieces ever created. No, bro, it's an 8 out of 10. It ripped off fucking Hamlet. It did. It's Hamlet. Lion King ripped off Hamlet too. Like, that needs to be said too. But like, okay. We'll get to that in a second, bro. It's awful. Rick and Morty and Hazbin Hotel have the same type of fan base. I swear to God, bro. And the Rule 34 art for Rick and Morty is also really bad, man. Steven Universe fans. I get it. Brother, I get it, okay? I get it. Know what I mean by I get it? I mean, like, I'm happy that you love it. And I don't think it's bad. I just think it's mid I think it's mid with good music. Steven Universe, I understand Rick and Morty and Hazbin Hotel have the same type of problem with their fan base because they gas this shit up like it's peak and it's deep. No, it's not. It's basic fan fiction level writing, okay? I'm just saying that. Steven Universe actually has a pretty interesting storyline, but here's the problem. The interesting storyline, I'll say it. Steven fucking annoys me. He just does. Do you know who I hate more than Steven Universe? His mom. His mom annoys this. Yes. And she's like a comically... We're talking like Elden Ring America levels of a bad motherhood. That is where she's at. And I don't want to spoil anything. Actually, who cares? Okay. So anyways, the basic premise of Steven Universe is you got this human crystal hybrid, and like crystal gems are also like an alien hive mind species. I kind of hive mind. It's weird. It's just weird. It's weird. It's goofy. It's fruity, but fruity in the way where it's like, actually, that's another thing. That part of the story, like the love interest, like the interconnected chemistry between the characters is actually the best part of it. Like, I think that they get down very well. But in terms of single characters, it's not that good. Like, characters have to be around other characters to work, because that's the chemistry that works. And it's like, if Steven Universe... Actually, no, only a few... I'm gonna take it back. Not every song hits, only a few do, and it carries it. And I just don't care about the storyline. It's just not. It's like Talk Jitsu from Naruto, but the entire time, bro. It's meh. It's meh. I was in it for a time, and I'm just... They just glaze the animation and make fan fiction. That's where it's at, bro. Also, you're noticing a trend here. The Rule 34 art for Steven Universe is concerning. Brother, Steven's underage. Check yourself into an asylum, bro. That's insane. Star Wars! Ah! Oh! Oh! Okay. Okay, baby. Ooh! 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 Okay. Star Wars is a toxic den of people that either hate themselves, hate anybody that doesn't agree with them, or are literally huffing their own copium-filled farts until Papa Disney comes over them, bounces them on their lap and says, "You're a good boy. I will make you 13 again so you can go to Disney World. And if you can't, you're gonna go to our all expenses paid by you Disney adult fare." I'm sorry, bro. Disney's not going to let you hit, little man. Okay? No, this... And, I get it. The discussion over the sequels, the prequels, and the originals. That's always been there. I understand. But there comes a level where there was at least some type of agreement among any of them. I'm sorry, bro. I refuse to discuss the sequel trilogy with anybody that can... That won't acknowledge that at bare minimum... The Last Jedi kills anything that was interesting with The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens is a great movie. I love that movie. I know I have shit on it, but there are things with that movie that work so well that you can build onto that and make a very good trilogy. Only for The Last Jedi to walk in there, hit that shit with the nay-nay, and then proceed to blow up any amount of hype in my... Oh yeah, you know that Snoke guy? Yeah, you know Snoke? Snoke? Yeah. He doesn't matter. What type of storytelling is this? Oh yeah, you know everything that's interesting about the fucking Force Awakens that we kind of alluded to? Yeah, all that's gone. Literally all of it's gone. All of it's gone. I'm not even mad about the hyperspace thing. Actually, I am kind of mad about that because it's kind of like, wait a minute. We could have done this all the time. Well, I mean, like, well, they have seals. No, you missed my point. Why the fuck would I make a Death Star if I can just launch a rock at the speed of light toward a planet and blow it up? Brother, if you launched a needle, oh my gosh, bro. That's the part where it bothers me, because it then turns into a case where it's like, but why did I make the Death Star down? Well, you see, it's against the rules of I like to think that in the Star Wars universe, there's a Geneva Convention that says that you can't do that. And then I'm over here like, so the Resistance are war criminals now? Okay, then why the fuck am I rooting for them? Like, no, on a real note, like, why didn't the First Order do it back then? Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, if it's a war crime one time, then the second time, it's just reciprocal. Okay, that's how I look at it, man. It's a war crime the first time, the second time, it's reciprocal. That's how I look at it, okay? And then when I'm just going through all the problems of Last Jedi. And then we get into the fandoms of the TV. This was just going to be TV shows originally. And then we were going to do, like, just TV movies, too. Because Star Wars fans, there's the ones that like anything. And I guess those people are just more happy. And I'm happy for them that they're happy. But then it gets to a point where it's like, yeah, but, like, you have to acknowledge that there's some flaws in what they're doing. And I don't have a problem with acknowledging flaws because, again, these are multi-billion-dollar corporations that actively do not give a single solitary fuck about you. They just don't. They want your money, not your love, okay? It just so happens that your money and love overlap. Don't forget that, okay? We're getting kind of based over here. Corporations don't care for your love or your praise. They just care for the numbers that, They care for the numbers that you give them. It just so happens that your love and your paycheck often overlap in what they go to. That's the truth. I don't know where I left off that. My dogs were going ballistic again. This time it wasn't Randy. It was, I don't know, his girlfriend named Jill. We're talking about the groundhogs in my front yard. I'm not dropping the lore yet, okay? That's a different video. Where was I? Oh, yeah. At the end of the day, bro, the TV shows are so spread out. There's something for everybody, but equally... You're not gonna... Like, here's a hot take. I love Star Wars The Clone Wars. I hated Rebels. Oh my gosh, it was like the shittier version of Clone Wars, and I tried to get into it multiple times. I just couldn't. I just don't like Rebels. I don't know what... I actually don't know how to explain it. I just don't like it. And then they just went farther and farther into Clone Wars animation, and it's like... And then people get mad at that. Why are they only doing Clone Wars animation? Because it fucking works. Sorry, Clone Wars is the most popular. And I think Clone Wars was so popular that Disney actively tries to recreate that with every single series that they make. But the problem is they don't have the soul that Clone Wars did. You ever think about that? Clone Wars was so popular for Cartoon Network and Lucasfilm that Disney brought it back just to milk it into oblivion. And I'm happy they gave it an ending, but at the same time, like, you ain't him. you ain't him, lil bro. Okay, that's the best way that I can describe it. The Star Wars fandom is actively the most toxic. It just is. Because it doesn't matter what your point is, somebody hates it. You can have the most... I think the originals are good. No joke. There are people that act... Dude, there was a guy that commented... I forget what it was, and he said, dude, Star Wars was always mid. What do you mean? Like, actually, what do you mean? Tell me the best movies then. I'm sorry, bro. The original trilogy was fucking great. At that point, we compare all the other trilogies to the original trilogy. The only people who argue that it was always mid are people that want to defend all of them. If it's Star Wars isn't for you, then Star Wars isn't for you. Just say that then, bro. Toxic. One of the most toxic. Walking Dead fans. Brother, it was milked into oblivion. No, we don't give a fuck. You lost, it was something crazy, like 40% of the viewership of keep in mind, The Walking Dead, people will gloss by this, and I feel like if you're gonna hate, you at least gotta acknowledge how good it was, okay? The Walking Dead was the biggest show on television for so long that one of the stats that they used to judge how popular it was how many people turned off the Oscars to watch it. Who the fuck watches the Oscars? No, like, on a real note, bro, I'm sorry. This has been going on for so long. It took place in a time where people gave a shit about the Oscars. That's how crazy this is, man. And I'm sorry. The Walking Dead. In my mind, I stopped caring about The Walking Dead not when Glenn died, but when Negan was allowed to live. I keep on standing on it. Negan being allowed to live is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. And, like, I know it happens in the comics, but the comics did it a little bit better. A little bit better because Carl is alive. Carl not being around, and I feel like the reason they got rid of Carl was because, like, they didn't want to keep Chandler rich. I don't know. Like, of all the choices you could have made and you have made, why this one? Then Walking Dead fans are like the friend that peaked in high school that insists on going to the football games. Like, no, bro, yes, it was a great time. I'm sure it was. There comes a point where you just gotta say, it's not here, boss. Brother, we're getting another Walking Dead. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Well, there's mutants now. They just now added mutant zombies. There's now variants. I'm done. Is it awful? No, it's bad and it's sad. Like, no, Walking Dead fans refuse to acknowledge that Walking Dead has fallen off to a degree where nobody... Oh, well, Rick's still alive! Nobody cares. Bad. Just bad. Marvel fans! Brother, you already know that this is going to go in the most toxic. But part of the reason is it's so big that it has the same problem as Star Wars. But then, nobody hates Marvel more than Marvel fans, and I'm one of y'all, okay? I thought The Thunderbolts was an 8 out of 10 movie. There are people that already think that was a 3 out of 10 movie. Okay, whatever. There are people that like, I don't even know. I was gonna say people like where Marvel... I don't know where the fuck Marvel's going. Crass out. I don't know where we're going. What's going on? Where are we going? I just watched The Thunderbolts, and spoiler, not really a spoiler, because Disney spoiled it just to get the numbers up. That's the new Avengers team now. That's the new Avengers. Oh, well, it's the West Coast Avengers. What's Sam's team? What team does fucking Sam have? Who does he have? Shang-Chi is dope. I think Shang-Chi is one of the best newer Marvel. And, dude, Shang-Chi was so long ago. Okay. Shang-Chi has been so long ago that it's barely even it's not even a new Marvel movie. It's not even a current phase Marvel movie. It was last phase. We are still in the fucking multiverse saga. We are still here! I don't care. Anymore. I don't care. Dude, Marvel has... And this is where I get into, and why Marvel is as toxic as it is because Marvel was best from Iron Man all the way up to Endgame. And I maintain that. Marvel pretty much ended with Endgame. There was a few good movies after that, but for the most part, it did end, okay? And the reason why is because there wasn't as many moving parts. Like, now we're gonna get into, like, behind-the-scenes Marvel lore that was going on. Okay. After Endgame, I was fucking right, okay? Executives from Disney came in and more or less said, "Ayo, bro, we want you to be able to do this within the next 5 years." Brother, it took a decade for us to get to this point. Yeah, we want it in 5 years. And then they immediately tried to put TV shows, movie, TV show. You gotta sell Disney Plus now because we gotta beat Netflix. Disney Plus is the most canceled subscription platform on the fucking planet. Okay, and it has Star Wars and Marvel. I'm sorry, it's just bad. Most people who have Disney Plus, and this is real, they get it with bundles. Okay, Disney is just a bad streaming platform. It just is. There's no other. It just is bad. It just is, bro. Anyways, where was I? Okay, you have all of that going on. We're going in so many directions. From Iron Man to Endgame, there is a relatively straight line that we're going into Thanos. Okay? And then when we look at current Marvel, where are we going? Oh, well, it's Doom. Okay, when was the first tease for Doctor Doom? When have we been teasing Doctor Doom? Where's that been? Where are we going? That's the bad guy? Well, what about Thanos? We had got a tease for Thanos at the end of Avengers. We got a cameo of Thanos in Guardians of the Galaxy. We got another tease for Thanos in Avengers 2. And then we got another tease for Thanos at God of War Ragnarok. So we got all of that for Thanos. And then the Infinity Stones that were like trickling in, building to the bigger story. And then we got all of these Avengers movies. And then we got Infinity War and Endgame. We're just going into Avengers Doomsday. We're just going into it next year. Oh, well, part of it is because of Kang the Conqueror. Who gives a fuck? Okay? That's not my problem. That's you. Okay? You're the one that caused that problem. And before that, I'm sorry, Cap. Okay? Y'all have also switched up on who are we supposed to follow. Brother, I will never forget this. Because and calm it down. Okay. I remember when they said that Captain Marvel was going to be the new leader of the MCU. I remember they were going to do that. And here's the thing. I don't like that decision because Captain Marvel's never really been that popular. The most popular time of Captain Marvel was when she debuted as Miss Marvel. I'm getting into nerd shit. Captain Marvel's not that popular. And I know somebody's going to say, well, Iron Man, okay, that is a 1 in a million chance. It just is, okay? Okay, so we got Captain Marvel, they said that was going to be the number one person. And then people just utterly rejected that idea, and they didn't stand their base. If you're going to say that, then stand by it. And then they pivoted. And then they pivoted again. And then they pivoted. And now, who's the leader of the MCU right now? Who's the leader? Who is he? No, tell me. Who is the Iron Man of the Marvel Universe right now? Who is the Captain America of the Marvel Universe? Well, Sam Wilson. Sam Wilson is not leading the charge of interest into the next Marvel movie. He's just not. Okay? He's not. I don't know what to... Actually, I do know what to tell you. The reason why people have looked at Sam Wilson as Captain America not with the same way that we see even Bucky taking a bigger role in the MCU is because they've done more to make Peggy Carter play Captain America than fucking Sam Wilson. We got more screen time of Peggy Carter as Captain Carter than we did of Sam Wilson as Captain America before the Captain America movie. Okay, that's true, bro. We got a TV show, we got a movie, and we got him guest starring. No, I don't know what we're doing, and now the Thunderbolts are the new Avengers. I have no clue where we're going. We have Fantastic Four. Is Marvel back? I don't know where we're going. Okay? There's no momentum. No, there is momentum, but then they squander it because they don't know where they're going. Disney doesn't really care what's going on. They just want money. And then they're going in multiple different directions, and there's no connective tissue. There just isn't, bro, okay? Toxic. And I'm part of the problem, dog. I am. Stranger Things. Stranger Things is a good show, but I'm just going to say it right now. The way Stranger Things fans talk about it, they would have you think that this is up there with, like, Breaking Bad in terms of a level of peak. It's not. No, it's like an 8. But the reason why it is a lot of it, this was the selling point of Netflix. Like it was strange. I remember Stranger Things coming out for the first time. Granted, I was like a kid, but I remember it coming out for the first time, and this was so groundbreaking because it was one of the first streaming originals for Netflix, and this was used as a blueprint moving forward. And I do thank Stranger Things for that. And I thought season 1 was amazing. Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, none of them are bad. But they're not as good. I think Stranger Season 1 is the best season. I just think it is, okay? However, in terms of everything, I think they're actually kind of chill. I think Stranger Things fans, the only sin that they really commit is how passionate they are for it. Actually, no. The amount of thirst trapping that I see in this series is kind of uncomfortable. You know what? I'm going to move Stranger Things up to meh, and I'm going to move Game of Thrones down. Yeah. I think Game of Thrones toxicity is more deserved than Stranger Things. I just think it is, bro. No, stop. It's the Goonies with some, I don't know, so some supernatural elements. I argue with a wall. Harry Potter fans. There's so much infighting, dog. It's so loud. It's so loud, dog. Okay, bro, when you try to get into the Harry Potter fandom, it's like being in an abusive household where the dad is like an absolute insane level of intoxicated, but instead of taking his belt off, he over here just has a war mace. But then the mom is an actual bipolar schizophrenic mess that looks at you as some sort of homunculi child that she forgot to give birth to. And then you watch as they battle each other like Godzilla vs. King Kong, but in between swings and whippings of the belt, they look at you and say, "You suck, we don't like you, go back to your father." And then your father says, "Go back to your mother," and then you're bored and then you leave. That is the best way that I can describe the Harry Potter fan base, bro. I'm sorry, bro. The Harry Potter movies were fucking good. They just were. I'm sorry. The amount of people that want to look back on those movies were like, well, they weren't even that good. We gotta remake it. Well, J.K. Rowling wrote the fucking book! Oh my gosh. That was the loudest I've ever been. But that's what it feels like, bro! That's what it feels like! Well, J.K. Rowling, I understand she's problematic. I get it. But damn, bro. Well, I mean, like, I really think that J.K. Rowling should not have a say in what goes forward in Harry Potter. She wrote it! That felt good. That felt good. I feel euphoric afterwards. But, bro, she wrote the book. It was the second most popular book on the planet behind the Bible. Okay? She's a self-made feminist billionaire. She had a few controversial remarks. Okay? And you want it, I'm sorry, taking J.K. Rowling out of Harry Potter is so dumb. Brother, she wrote the fucking book. Okay, she wrote the book, bro. Wrote the book. Was pivotal in helping adapt the movies. Okay. We all agree on that. And then now you want to say, oh, well, the Harry Potter movies weren't that good. And now they want to make it into an HBO series. I don't give a shit. Bro, I do not care. There is no way that you can top it. I'm sorry, the Harry Potter movies, like, there's another one. We like to gloss over just how popular the Harry Potter's movies. Like, people gloss over how big Twilight was. And Twilight, those movies do not age well for a second, okay? And there's problems with those movies that you can get into. But when we look at Harry Potter, the Harry Potter movies are actually great. I'm not even gonna kid you, like, they're great movies, bro. Okay? I like them. I love the movies. But, oh my gosh, bro, it is it's one of the most toxic fan bases because it's like Star Wars fans saying that George Lucas is the single worst thing to ever happen to Star Wars, despite without him, we wouldn't have Star Wars. It's like the equivalent of this, and this would be like one fan in Star Wars. This is a whole armada of people in the Harry Potter fandom. If somebody's favorite Star Wars movie was The Last Jedi, and they believe that George Lucas is the reason why Star Wars is terrible. Brother, no, he made it. Star Wars is... anything that he says is Star Wars is Star Wars. Okay? You don't understand Star Wars better than George Lucas. And no, you don't understand Harry Potter better than J.K. Rowling. Toxic as... Oh my gosh, it's bad, bro. Snyder fans. I'm gonna be real here, bro. I still got one more passionate rant for the ending of the video, and you know what? I'm a little bit euphoric. You know what the problem? This problem with Snyder fans is they fought so hard for something that was true. Like, no. Warner Bros. Actively fucked over Zack Snyder. Like, they did. Oh, no, they did. No, you can look back that. They actively fucked him over. Okay? Took over all... And here's the thing. I understand that Snyder's original plan for DC is not great. It's better than what we got. It just is. I'm sorry, bro. You want to see something that actually hurts your brain? Try to figure out where we were going to go with the DC universe. And there's the problems with Snyder films. There is. Like, no, he doesn't really understand Batman. He basically turned Superman into Injustice Superman because that's how he understands him. And yeah, he rushed so heavily into his DC universe that he released a Batman v Superman before we got a Batman movie. No, like, I want you to think about that. So... Oh, and the reason why they did that is DC wanted to put out a movie at the same time as they did Civil War. And I'm sorry, Civil War had almost a decade of build-up. Batman v Superman, it was like their third movie. We got a Superman. It might have been their second movie, actually. It was Superman and then Batman v Superman. That's how fast it was, bro. And I'm putting it, Snyder fans. This is the toxicity of Snyder fans. They fought so hard for what they got. And the Snyder Cut's actually I think it's a great movie. I think it is way better than what we got with Justice League. Okay? But you have to let it go, boss. Snyder is not coming back to do the DC Universe. Rebel Moon was ass. Just admit it. Because Zack Snyder was going to do Disney movies, and I'm just gonna the Star Wars movies, and I'll admit it, he probably would have done better than what we gotten. And there's problems with it, and I've already explained where all the problems were. But I'm sorry, bro. I'm hyped for the Superman movie. Snyder fans, just go to bed. Just go to sleep, bro. Wake up. You're cranky. They're awful. They're toxic, but they're not as toxic as some of these. Goku Dragon Ball fans are the most annoying people. They are so annoying. Okay? Do you know how I know they're bad? When even anime fans look at them as like, oh, you're just a Dragon Ball fan. And dude, I swear, a lot of it is power scaling. The power scaling fan base is one of the worst in the entirety of fiction. It's so bad. I'm sorry, bro. When I'm watching Invincible and I see Omni-Man do something cool, and you come up to me and say, oh, bro, he gets no diff by Goku. Who gives a fuck? Bro? Touch a woman. Touch one woman in your life. That is not your mother or your cousin. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit that Goku is more powerful than my MC. Nobody cares. Not one person cares. Nobody. Not one person. I'm sorry, dude. Oh, you know what? If we're going to get into this and we're going to have this whole debate and everything, I'll just say it. Dragon Ball's story is mid. And it's carried by the animation. It is. If you compare it to everything else... No, Dragon Ball's good. But it's carried by the animation, action, set pieces. Let me ask you a question. Would you still watch Dragon Ball if there was no conflict? If there was no fighting and instead Goku would talk down his enemies every single time? I guarantee you, bro, they lose half of their audience overnight. That is the appeal. It's like JJK fans arguing that the story doesn't make any... No, it's like JJK fans saying that the story is actually the real reason why it's popular. No, JJK is popular because the animation is amazing. The actual storyline of JJK is a logistical nightmare. And I've already talked about that. No, Dragon Ball fans are... Dude, they're so toxic that even anime fans look at them like, oh my gosh, here they come, bro. Because they are. You have to be worse than Naruto fans to get this far. And that's a flex, but the opposite of it. And there you go. Those are some of the most annoying fan bases in TVs and movies. I got a little sunlight that keeps on getting to my eyes, so I'm not going to go forward. Anyways, if this was entertaining to you, please consider like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 3,000 likes for this video, and we're trying to get to 250,000 subscribers before the release of GTA 6. And wait, no. 250,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and 500,000 subscribers before the release of GTA 6. We are on track to do it with the support of you guys. And with all that out of the way, if you enjoyed the video, like it, subscribe, hit the bell icon to stay notified, and never forget, have a good day, and I hope you have many, many more. Adios, guys.